Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. Yeah. Um, my name is Emmanuel Cyprian. I'm from Thai Tech Consulting. Um, so, due to popular demand, some people have been sending me email that is it possible for us to ask you live questions for you to come on live? Yeah, so this is me live. Um, if you want to ask me any question, please, you can, send in your questions. I can read them out, and then I'll be able to answer your questions. Yeah, so some questions that usually come to me that have been coming to me of recent is people asking me how is GRC related to risk management framework. So let me type in that here. Um, how is GRC related to risk management framework? Yeah, so GRC and risk management framework, they are the same thing. So risk management framework is part of the GRC space of cybersecurity. In cybersecurity, we have the technical part of cybersecurity, which deals with the incident response, which deals that is the SOC analyst, penetration testing, all of that, forensic analysis. So all of these are examples of the technical part of cybersecurity. And then we have the GRC, the governance, risk, and compliance part of cybersecurity. So this aspect of cybersecurity, that is where the risk management framework, falls under. And like you can see in my upcoming videos, I've posted, I think I did about 4 videos regarding GRC. So I've posted one of the videos. The 3 remaining videos, they will be, premiering consecutive, at least next week. One will be premiering this coming week, and then the other one the following week, the part 4, in 3 weeks time. So please go and head and watch those videos. I talked about the governance part of the GRC, the risk part of the GRC, and then the compliance part of the GRC. So they are all the same thing. The risk management framework, the GRC, they're all the same thing. And other questions that comes to, that people send me is, do I need a certification before I can launch in my career in cybersecurity? My answer is no. You don't need a certification before you launch your career in cybersecurity or before you transition into cybersecurity. Now, if you look at IT and cybersecurity as a whole, that is cybersecurity and IT as a whole is different from any other profession or career. That is, it's different from healthcare. In healthcare, you'll be required to have a license before you start practicing. But in IT, in some of those certifications, they require you to have 2 years experience before you can even take those certifications. So what does that tell you? It tells you that in IT or cybersecurity, all they are looking for is your experience, your expertise, your knowledge, your skill sets. That is what is paramount to them. Certification is just a proof, to show that yes, I have my experience in this, I'm certifying this, all of that. But you don't need that certification to go get a job. The hiring manager is looking for who has the experience, who has his hands dirty, that can get this job done. And why is that? You see, in IT and cybersecurity, any smart dude can sit down at the corner of his room, study the certification materials, study the practice questions or whatsoever, and then master how they set the exams, how the exam is being set, goes to the exam hall and then pass the exam, boom. So the smart dude can have multiple certifications, but that doesn't still mean that that smart dude can do the job. So they are looking for someone who can do the job, who has the technical knowledge, who has the skill set, who has the expertise to do the job. Now, if you have certifications, that is a plus, that is an advantage for you. So why thinking of launching or transitioning into cybersecurity, do not let, oh, I don't have a certification, hold you down. No, go get that IT or cybersecurity training. Go get that training. So once you get that training, then the certification, you can prepare for the certification. Because even when you want to take the certification, they require you to have 2 years experience or 5 years experience, stuff like that. So you don't need a certification to go get that cybersecurity or IT related job. I hope I've been able to answer that question. I also have a video about that, so you can, please watch my video on that as well. What else again? People ask me, I have a job, or I was, hired. I'm a system administrator. I work with ISOs, I work with security control assessors, and I got to understand how the tasks they perform. So now my manager, transitioned me into an RMF related job, an ISO related job. How should I handle that? Now, in most cases, you let your manager know that this is your core area of strength, which is the system administration. However, you are willing to learn when it comes to the information system security officer's role or security control assessor's role. You are willing to learn, you are willing to adapt, you are willing to acquire more knowledge. So once you're able to say that and your manager has that understanding, they will be able to work with you, either helping you or making you shadow someone who is more experienced in that particular role. Or they might even ask you to go take some training, employers paid training to brush up your knowledge in that new role that you have been transitioned into. And also on your own part, if it's something that you like, you want to really do that particular task or role, take it upon yourself to gather knowledge. Go for training, even if your employer is not paying for that training. Do a what's it called? You can gather some materials on YouTube. My video is there. You can equally go get some training centers like TITEC, my training centers, we call it train people in cybersecurity, GRC and RMF. You can contact, us. We'll provide you the training that you require. You can pay out of pocket for it, just to show that yes, you are really interested in, that new role they've transitioned you into. Hello, Larissa. How are you? Yeah, I can see you. Thank you for joining. So yeah, that is it. So if you are being transitioned into a GRC role or risk management framework role, and then you don't have that experience, you're coming from maybe another IT role, take up take up the challenge and get it done. Yeah. Okay. Other questions that comes, people always ask me is do I need a security clearance to be able to get a job in cybersecurity? My answer is not all roles or jobs. No. My answer is no. You don't need a security clearance to get a job in cybersecurity. Security clearance is related, you only need security clearance if the job is related to, US government agencies or state, county or whatever. And if the role demands that you'll be exposed to, you'll be working with sensitive government information or systems. So that is when you'll be required to undertake or to take or to have a security clearance. However, if the role does not require you to have security clearance or you're not going to be working with sensitive government information, security clearance will not be required. That is one. Secondly, it's not only US government agencies or state government or county that hires cybersecurity analysts. Commercial organizations equally do that. Healthcare organizations, financial institutions, all of that. They also hire cybersecurity analysts, and you don't need a security clearance to be able to perform those cybersecurity tasks in those commercial organizations, except if, for example, some of those commercial organizations, like consulting firms, like the Deloitte, like the E&Y, like the Accentures, they have the federal contract. And that federal contract requires security clearance for someone to be able to carry out that task. That is where security clearance will be required, stuff like that. So it's not all the jobs that require security clearance. Security clearance equally have levels: public trusts, secret clearance, top secrets, top secret polygraph, all sort of that, DOD, clearance. So security clearances, they are of different level. It is not all cybersecurity related jobs that require you to have security clearance. I hope I'm able to answer that question. Another question that folks usually ask me is, if I don't have an IT experience, I'm trying to transition into cybersecurity or into IT, which part of IT will be, will be an easy transition into? Which part of cybersecurity will be an easy transition into? Now, my response to such questions is it all depends on your area of interest. Now, if you are someone who is coming from an auditing, maybe financial auditing background, or you're coming from accounting background, or you're coming from data analysis background, now you want to transition into cybersecurity, I will advise that you take the route of the governance, risk, and compliance, risk management framework. That route will be much, much easier and blends with where you're coming from. Because the GRC part of cybersecurity, or the risk management framework part of cybersecurity, deals with understanding the risk identification, risk analysis, risk reporting, risk treatment, remediation, policy documentation, policy development, cybersecurity standards, policies, procedures, compliance with industry standards, regulations. So it's almost blending from where you're coming from as an accountant, or as an what's called auditor, financial auditor, or data analyst. So it's better to transition or to take the route of that GRC risk management framework part, rather than going the route of the technical part of cybersecurity. Now, the technical part of cybersecurity, yeah, it's cool, it's nice, it's interesting if you have passion and interest in that, working with tools, and then downloading tools, configuring tools, doing forensic analysis, SOP analysis, incident response, all of that. So yeah, those are the technical part of cybersecurity. That could be a little bit of a steep for you, but nothing is impossible if that is your area of interest. If not, why not? So these are my response to such question. Okay. What are the question again that I usually get from my subscribers, from those that have watched my videos, those that have taken my classes? Now, another question that usually comes to mind is, if I take the training, cybersecurity training, how soon can I get a job? How soon can I get a job once I finish taking the cybersecurity training? Well, as an instructor myself, I don't guarantee my students job. No. My role is to provide that knowledge, teach you the hands-on, the documentation, the processes that you need to know. In terms of getting the job, it's, excuse me, it's basically the responsibility of the student. How soon you get a job is your responsibility. How, or what do I mean? What I mean is that your ability to quickly get a job depends on how determined you are. It's a process. How do I mean that's a process? Now you want to transition into cybersecurity. You're already thinking about it. So you're now having like a mental allotment. You are beginning to make a research of which area of cybersecurity you want to transition into. And you made your research, you ask questions, you surf the internet, and then you saw some materials, you read some materials. That is, you are building your mental alertness. Now, when you get to that, that is a process. That is one process. That is, one step. The next step is now you now reaching to subject matter experts, asking them what are the different areas one can transition into in cybersecurity. You reach out to folks like me, and I kind of help you say, hey, we have the technical part, we have the, we have the GRC part of cybersecurity. And then after that conversation, you are able to make up your mind that you want to take the GRC part. That is another step. The next step is you now registering and taking the training. Now, once you're done with the training, the next step is putting together your resume to showcase the skill set that you've acquired, to showcase your experience, your expertise. So once the resume is ready, the next step is you launching out, posting the resume, and making conscious effort to be applying to as many as a minimum of 10 jobs per day, filling out 10 jobs application per day. Can you do that? That is the most challenging part. So your ability to stay put, consistently searching for that job, not giving up. Why do I say 10, minimum of 10 applications per day, job applications? It means that when you fill out at least 10 job applications per day, 3 of them might reach back to you to say, okay, yeah, I think we have, after reviewing your resume, I think we feel that you're going to be a good fit, for this role. Can we schedule an interview with you? At least 2 or 3 of those, jobs, hiring managers, recruiters will get back to you. And once they get back to you, they set up interviews with you. Yeah, so it now, continue like that. You now take, the interview. The first interview might not go on well as expected. Why? Maybe you're nervous, you are fidgeting, You know, it's understandable. It is understandable. Yeah, someone you don't know is asking you questions based on your resume. Yeah, so that is one of those things. Now, if you are able to stay consistent, the first interview might not go on well, you don't give up. You take the second interview again, you have an opportunity of another interview, you go for it. You are building up your confidence level. You're building up how to answer interview questions. So that way you can ace any other job interview, any other interviews that comes your way. So it's a process, but you not giving up is the real deal. Not giving up after the training, not giving up when you have sent out 10 or 20 or 30 job applications and they have not reached back to you, not giving up even when you've done the first 2, 3 interviews and it did not go on well, they didn't get back to you. That is the process. That is how you get the job. Some folks get their job a month after taking the training, 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, 1 year. Those that get their job a year after the training, they are the heroes. Why? They didn't give up. If they had given up, they wouldn't have gotten that job. So each and every one of us has our own share of luck. I hope I'm able to answer that question. All right. Hey, goodness. Okay. Your question, it says, in my 60s, late 60s, I have few relevant soft skills and SATs. Can I get a job in cybersecurity? Also, how can I reach out to you for counseling? All right. So, goodness. In America, they don't discriminate against age. No. They don't discriminate against age. Recruiters, hiring managers must not discriminate against age. And that is why you don't see them saying, what is your age on your resume? Nobody will even ask you during job interview. They ask you that, they are crossing the line. So if cybersecurity is what you're interested in, yeah, you can go for it. You have some relevance, soft skills and certification. Yes, brush up the soft skills. The certification, yeah, that is fine. Make sure that your certification is still active. Make sure your certification is still active. Any cybersecurity certification will be good. If it is CompTIA Security Plus, if it is CGRC, CISSP, what's it called? If it is CISM, if it is CISA, yeah, any of these certifications, cybersecurity certification, will be good on your resume. However, goodness, I don't know when last you took the training. You can go for a refresher training. That's where you are able to refresh your memory of new things that have come up in the course of the cybersecurity space. So I would recommend that you take a refresher training if you have not taken, if it's been a long time that you took a cybersecurity training, or I would recommend that you take a training if you have not done any one in time past. It's always important. Certification alone cannot get you the job. You need to have that knowledge, that skill set. Now, you can reach out to me, my phone number and my email address. So let me type in my email address so you can reach out to me. So I just type in my email address in there. For my phone number, let me put it here. Let me also put in my phone number so you guys can have it. So my phone number and my email address is there. So you can send me an email regarding your questions and all of that. And by the way, I don't know why I'm always forgetting. My GRC risk management framework class just started today. Is for 7 straight Saturdays. So we have 6 more Saturdays to go. Today's class was introductory class. So if you are interested, you can still join the class. No, you can still join the class. And what do I mean? I will send you, if you're interested, you join the class. My training fee is $3,500. $3,500. So you can still join the class. I will send you the materials and the video recording of today's class, which is the first class. The first class is usually introductory class. So if you're still interested, I'll send you the video and the materials, and then you study it, get your assignments done, and watch the video so that next class you join us. Yeah, so the class is ongoing. I think I did a video about that. It's in my YouTube channel. You can look for it. The date is for 7 straight Saturdays from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's virtual class, live online. Yeah. You're welcome, Larissa. Okay, so we have almost spent 30 minutes. So what other question again? Goodness, I hope I'm able to answer your question regarding your soft skills, your age, and being able to get a cybersecurity job. All right. Yeah, I usually get that a lot, So there are some things that recruiters are not permitted to ask you during job interview. One of them is your age. They shouldn't, and they will not ask you of your age. They will not ask you of maybe when you get into the United States. Now, the best they can ask you is, are you authorized to work? Which is, yes, you're authorized to work. So they will not ask you, okay, when did you get your authorization? When did you get into the United States? Nobody will ask you that. And then if you have your bachelor's, now another question that usually comes, they ask me is, do I need to have a bachelor's, master's before I can transition into cybersecurity, before I can get a cybersecurity job? No. You don't need a master's in cybersecurity. You don't even need a bachelor's in cybersecurity before you transition into cybersecurity career. And you don't need a bachelor's in cybersecurity or master's in cybersecurity to even get a job in cybersecurity. Any, major that you have, as long as you have bachelor's, even if it is associate, in any field, bachelor's, in any field, master's, in any field, any major, you can get a job, you can transition into cybersecurity, and you can get a job in cybersecurity. So not having master's degree is not a barrier to transition into cybersecurity. Not having a bachelor's degree is not a barrier from transitioning into cybersecurity. I hope I'm able to answer someone's question. Yeah. So what other question do you guys have? You can put it in the chats. I'm monitoring it. I'll be able to kind of explain that, answer your question. Another question that folks usually ask me is everything that I learned in class what we're going to be doing on the job? Most times, no. It's not everything that you are being taught in class that you'll be even be doing on the job. But the beautiful part of it is your ability to harness all the necessary information in the course of your training, and then you being able to understand it, and be able to talk through it during job interview. The job itself is much, much easier. You might end up doing just a tiny piece of what you've learned during the course of your training, or you'll be doing half of what you learned in the course of your training. So it is not everything that you learned in class that you will be, doing on the job. It's not everything. All right. Any other question? So I've pasted my email address and the phone number in there. So if you have any question, you can email me and you can give me a call. Let's talk through it. And again, if you have, I used to have that bandwidth of time to provide like on-the-job technical support for folks, even if you didn't take my class or wherever you need technical support, maybe on the job. I usually have that bandwidth of time, but now due to a lot of other commitments, I don't know if I will have that bandwidth of time, but you can still reach out and see if it's something that we can work together on. Okay. Here is a question. It says, I have a dental background and have been transitioning into cybersecurity for 1 year plus now. I did a boot camp for 2 months. I have CompTIA Security Plus and then ISC certification for completion. What are my chances? Yeah. So you have been transitioning into cybersecurity for 1 year plus now. You did a boot camp for 2 months. You have a CompTIA Security Plus. Yeah, your chances are, high. If you've done the boot camp, you did the boot camp for 2 months. So that is no longer a boot camp. Boot camps are usually like 5 days, 7 days, that is boot camp. So if you're saying you're doing it for 2 months, that is on the job preparation training. That is workforce development training that you are taking. So depending on which area of boot camp, area of cybersecurity boot camp you took, I will encourage you to make sure you understand what you are being, taught in the course of that boot camp or that training. Put together your resume and put your, your certifications on the resume. Go in there, go and test the water. Go in there, go and test the water. So, if you don't mind, Larissa, which area in cybersecurity did you guys cover in the course of that 2-month boot camp? Is it the GRC parts, such as the the risk management framework, IT audit, SOC analyst? I know some instructors merge all of these together, where they teach you like the SOC analyst, they'll teach you like the vulnerability scanning, they will teach you like the IT auditing, all of that, merging all together so you can be all-rounder. Yeah. So, okay, GRC. Now, if you have taken the GRC for 2 months, yeah, so mainly focus on GRC. Okay, so if the training focused on GRC, your chances are high. So what I will advise your next step should be, put together your resume. Once you put together your resume, let your instructor review the resume for you, making sure that your T's are crossed, your I's are dotted. Go in there, go and test the water. But I will advise that nobody will give you a chance for an entry level. If you're looking for an entry level, you might not get. Yeah, you might not get. So every recruiter out there, hiring managers are looking for someone with 3, 5, 6, 8, 10 years experience. Play with the game. Put it there. Don't be scared. Put that years of experience that you're comfortable. Put it on your resume. Don't be scared. Go do the interview. Make sure you have studied very well and you are able to defend that resume. You are able to speak confidently and boldly, and you are able to sound technical, not too technical. You are able to sound like someone with that years of experience. Yeah, go in there, go and test it. And like I said, previously, being able to staying put, completing those job applications, minimum 10 per day, searching and applying continuous application. That is how you get a job. Don't just post your resume on those job sites and wait for them to only call you. No. While you've posted your resume, make sure that you are equally actively searching, applying, completing the application form, and submitting it. Yeah, so Larissa, your chances are very high. Go for it there. Go complete, put together your resume, and go blast it. Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, Godfrey, he said you're looking for an ISSO's job, but they all demanding clearance, which I don't have. So what is the chances of me getting this job? Okay. Now, do not shortchange yourself by looking for only, what's it called, ISSO's job. It is not only ISSO's job that is out there. ISSO is just one of those roles. There are lots of other roles. I'm sure you're looking at them. There is the role of an ISSO, Information System Security Officer. There is Security Control Assessor. There is GRC Analyst, Vulnerability Management Analyst, Information System Security Analyst, Information Security Compliance Analyst, Information Assurance Analyst. So there are lots of roles out there. It's not only ISSO. So don't be fixated with just only ISSO's role. So don't shortchange yourself. Don't shortchange yourself. Now, I've said it before you joined, that not all the jobs require, not all US government agencies' job requires security clearance. Not all of them. Now, the ones that require security clearance means that you will be working with sensitive US government sensitive systems or sensitive information. So they needed you to be clearable or have clearance. Now, clearance is not what you can get by yourself. An employer have to sponsor you for security clearance. An employer have to sponsor you for security clearance. So if they determine that that role requires security clearance and you are able, you perform well during interview, they will be the one to sponsor you for security clearance. Some employer may be looking for someone that already has an active clearance. But if they don't see, they might look for someone who is clearable. As long as you're clearable, there's nothing in your background that can, stop you from getting security clearance. Yeah, you can get it. Another thing is, don't get fixated on only ISSO's job. It's not US government agencies alone that is hiring for what's it called, cybersecurity. Commercial organizations are equally hiring for the role of cybersecurity. They might not call their own ISSO. That is why I'm trying to bring this awareness of GRC, governance, risk, and compliance. So what you must have learned in your course of training as an ISSO is equally applicable in the GRC space in commercial organizations. But if you don't know the roles to apply to, you might find it difficult. So it's not only ISSO that is out there. Go, if you have a LinkedIn profile, create a LinkedIn profile, go on LinkedIn, search for GRC analyst. Search for information security analyst. So Bank of America, Capital One, Wells Fargo, Blue Cross Blue Shield. Yeah, they all hire cybersecurity analysts, but they might not call their own ISSO. And it's something that you are able to do. So explore. Don't get fixated to just, oh, I need an ISSO's job. No. Don't get fixated with just only ISSO. Expand your search to other cybersecurity roles. I'm not talking of the engineering or technical part of cybersecurity. No, I'm not talking about that. So it's part of what I tell my students. I give them all of this breakdown information that, hey, the fact that you are taking the risk management framework, these are the different roles you can apply to. And don't look only on the government's website alone or government jobs alone. Commercial organizations equally hire, exploit that aspect as well. So Godfrey, hope I'm able to answer your question. Yeah, so this is very helpful. Appreciate you guys taking your time to join me on this live. I said it's been you're welcome, Godfrey. You're welcome, Larissa. It's been a long time I came live to, provide question and answer session. Like I said, please make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel, like my videos, share my videos. Refer your friends to my class. I teach, GRC, RMF classes. Refer them to my class. If you have any questions, my phone number is there on the chat, and my email address. You can send me an email. I'll try as much as possible to respond to your email or pick your call. Yeah, thank you so much. I appreciate you guys. I don't want this live to be too long for those that want to rewatch it. So I don't want it to be too lengthy, for them to be able to watch. So thank you guys and enjoy the rest of your day.